Okay, so today we have Pretenders back on the Chain Gang. Gonna try to watch the video here. Could get blocked. Always gotta say that off the top. But anyway, I thought that I've done more Pretenders reactions, but come to find out, I guess I've only done one, which was to Brass and Pocket. So finally coming back to them today, and coming into this, I do have to say that I found out that this song is basically kind of a tribute to lead guitarist James Honeyman-Scott, who passed away, of course, in 1982 of a drug overdose. So I know that coming into this, so imagining this is going to be kind of heartfelt. So let's get into it, talk about it after. Let's go.
Of you, oh, what hijacked my world at night, to a place in the past we've been cast out of. Oh, now we're back in the fight.
Oh yeah.
We're back on the train. Chain gang. Circumstance beyond our control. Oh, the phone, TV, and the news of the world got in the house like a pigeon from hell. Oh, through sand in our eyes and descended like flies. Put us back on the train. Back on the chain gang.
Beautiful.
Us to live like we do, bring me to my knees when I see what they've done to you. But I'll die as I stand here today, knowing that deep in my heart they'll fall to ruin one day for making us part. A picture of you. Ah, those were the happiest days of my life. Like a break in the battle was your part. Ah, in the wretched life of a lonely heart. Now we're back on the train. On the chain gang.
Kind of an abrupt ending there. Okay, so Pretenders and back on the Chain Gang. So, like I said, coming into this, I knew from searching up, on Genius.com, Song Facts, Wikipedia, all the shit I like to search up about the song. I knew that this was a tribute to, freaking James Honeyman-Scott, good lord, lead guitarist of the band, who I have to say off the top, just reading up about him again, because, it's been a while. Again, he was an innovative guitar player. And again, I think he passed at 25 or 26. And it's just like, and he had that style, this band almost kind of reminds me of the guys behind me in the Smiths or something like that, kind of a jangly sound. I mean, the bass playing here, I have to say, it is a little bit reminiscent of Andy Rourke. I mean, it's just so jumpy and it's bouncy and it's a little bit funky, and I love that so much. But and I also have to say, it's Tony Butler on the bass here. Of course, Tony Butler, Big Country, and I love Big Country, so that was a pleasant surprise when I looked at the personnel. I was like, Tony Butler, that sounds familiar. So I love that he's on this track, and I love that he's just so goddamn good. I mean, he's so prominent. Again, that's my favorite word, I think. But again, like I said during the song, great bass line. I mean, you couldn't not hear it. I mean, good lord. So anyway, that's a big takeaway here. And I do know there were some beautiful riffs in there, and I would say beautiful because the song is, it's beautiful for what it's about, with the subject matter in the song. And so yeah, anyway, just beautiful riffs, whatever. They're very good. Good lord. Anyway, there was a little bit of a solo in there too, I would want to say. But again, just very tasteful, kind of vibrant as well. The song was pretty upbeat, I would say. A great tone to it, great melody, all this stuff you would talk for music. But yeah, just I love I loved it all. It sounded very upbeat, like I said. But at the same time, when you look at the lyrics and if you know what they're talking about here, we're talking about somebody who passed away, of course, and somebody who was a friend. And again, I think about the Pretenders here, and God only knows what I said last time I reacted to them, so I might be repeating myself. I don't know. But of course, James passed away in 1982, and then of course bassist Pete Farndon, I do believe, he passed away as well pretty soon after him, maybe a year later. And again, he was kicked out, I believe, before he died, of course, but he got kicked out because of his drug problems, and then he overdosed later on. So it's just like, you lose two obviously integral band members. And again, at such a young age. And again, I think they only did 2 albums with Pete and James. So again, your career is just kind of starting out, and already you lost 2 of your bandmates and friends. And so I can only imagine the pressure, the grief, whatever that was put on Chrissie Hynde, and of course as well Martin Chambers, drummer of the band. And to lose your friends like that. And obviously they kind of talk about that, about the news outlets and, what they kind of went through in the song there, which we'll get to lyrics soon. But again, I just wanted to mention that off the top. It took me a second to gather my thoughts. But anyway, I wanted to also mention Chrissy's obviously warm voice here. I loved her whoa, I can't replicate it, but goddamn, I loved her whoas. And again, you can feel the passion, you can feel the emotion in the song. I love the ooh, behind her with the backing vocals as well, which was kind of fun too. But again, at the end of the day, this song is pretty, sad, obviously. It's probably painful. I would imagine it was painful for her to write, and probably even maybe today to still sing live if she does it. And again, could you think about, my goodness, 2 friends really that you lost in such a short time, and this song kind of talks about those old memories and how you felt together when you guys were young and all this stuff, and the world was yours, and all of a sudden they're gone. So anyway, and I also have to mention too that coming into this, I was reading up also that, and I didn't even know this, but and I'm sure other people obviously did, but Chrissie Hynde and Ray Davies worked together, and they had a kid together as well. And I guess this song kind of started out as a song about their failed relationship, and it was kind of a song about Ray, but then it kind of turned into a song for James, of course, after he passed away. And of course, there is that whole sense of, I think I might have already said it, but hopefulness. And even though it's sad and everything, there is a sense of in her voice that they're not done. They may have lost 2 members, they may be down, they may have took a hiatus, whatever. But they're not down and out. They're still coming back. They're still going to make music. There is that kind of a hopefulness to the song too, which I really enjoy. So anyway, I guess that's what I got to say off the top there. So let's get into the first verse here. Actually, let me get to the personnel, because I mentioned a few of them, but I didn't mention everybody, and I like to give people their due. So this is personnel for the song. So that's what we got here on Wikipedia. So Chrissie Hynde on lead and backing vocals and guitar as well. Martin Chambers on drums and backing vocals. Billy Bremner on lead guitar here, which again, great riffs throughout the whole track here. I mean, just kind of, in a way, it's a sublime kind of sound, very fresh. I really, really enjoyed it. My goodness, kind of indie guitar sound, I might say. Again, kind of reminds me of the Smiths or something. Robbie McIntosh on rhythm guitar here. Tony Butler, like I said, on bass and backing vocals, and that's all there. And I imagine again that the backing vocals of the ooh, was by Martin and Tony, I would guest here, as they're both on backing vocals. So yeah, which was a fun little add to the whole song. So let's get into the first verse here. So I found a picture of you. Oh my goodness gracious. And she just goes to the sky with that voice. But again, I think about maybe finding a picture of James or whatever, and just already being like, oh God, it's about to get, teary-eyed in this place. What hijacked my world that night? To a place in the past we've been cast out of. Now we're back in the fight. And again, I just think about how she might have found a picture of him or just had memories of him, whatever, and that kind of hijacked her world that night and just maybe made her cry, whatever it is, made her emotional. And again, she could be talking about Ray a little bit here, thinking back to the good times with Ray Davies. And again, Ray Davies of the Kinks, I always feel like, I know the Kinks have so many accolades, but at the same time, they still feel like they're an underrated band. I don't know. Either way, but yeah, again, now we're back in the fight, which I just love that line, because it seems like, we were down, but now we're going to rise from the ashes like a phoenix, all this stuff, and we're back in the fight. We're back in the music world now. My goodness, here we come. Going to the chorus here, we're back on the train. Oh, back on the chain gang. And again, there is a little part here, chain gang. What's the definition of chain gang? A chain gang is a group of convicts who are chained together while they do manual labor, usually outside. So there you go there. And that was in the video too. The band members were behind them with whatever, I don't remember what they're called now, not axes or picks or whatever the hell, but they're beating rocks and all that stuff, like they're part of the chain gang. And again, just talking about, again, we're back on the train, back on the chain gang, almost another way of saying, we're back on the horse here, metaphorically, whatever. And, again, we're back. We're coming back and we're making music again, and we're going to keep going. And obviously this song was a hit for them. And it's a very important song for them too. I mean, it was destined to be a hit. It had to be, with the fucking lyrical context here. Good Lord. Anyway, excuse my language. Second verse. A circumstance beyond our control. Going in the phone, the TV, and the news of the world. Got in the house like a pigeon from hell. Throw sand in our eyes and descend like flies. And again, I think here, a circumstance beyond our control. I think about how James passed away. I think about drugs. I also think about how Pete passed away too, from drugs. And just how maybe it was out of their control. It was out of his control too. His addiction was out of control. He was too far gone, whatever. And again, the phone, the TV, the news of the world. I think about tabloids. I think about media coming at maybe Chrissy after he passed away, asking questions, whatever. Chrissy just trying to get into the house, whatever. Just trying to dodge these people, whatever, just trying to get out of the way. I just think about all the news that probably happened when James passed away, and again, when Pete passed away as well. And maybe even, with the whole relationship she was in with Ray, always maybe being followed around by paparazzi or whatever the hell. I mean, she was a celebrity. She still is today. I let my dog out the door. Anyway, we're coming to the bridge now, which for my money might be the most important heart-wrenching moment of the track, perhaps. Anyway, and there's a few lines here that just really get you. The powers that be that force us to live like we do bring me to my knees when I see what they've done to you. But I'll die as I stand here today, knowing that deep in my heart, they'll fall to ruin one day for making us part. Now I think about if she's talking straight, basically, to the spirit of James, whatever the hell, and kind of saying, and again, I don't know how James's addiction started. I don't know how he became a drug user. I don't know if it was forced onto him by, bad, the wrong crowd, maybe people he was hanging out with, people maybe in the music industry, bad guys within the industry, whatever the hell. But almost in that way, that's what it seems like Chrissy is almost hinting at here, or whatever. These people are going to, be brought to their knees and will fall for, making us part, for making you pass away way before your time, for making me go through this, this grief or whatever, for losing you. All this stuff comes to mind. And again, it's a very strong message right there. Chrissy's not playing around. I mean, my God. So like I said, that bridge there is just very, very strong. Such an important part of the track and the whole track is really important. I mean, my God. Then we go into the last verse, the third verse here. I found a picture of you. So that line comes back to the forefront. Those were the happiest days of my life. And again, that line there is so poignant. I mean, again, it's kind of simple. Those were the happiest days of my life. There it is. But at the same time, she's never going to get those days back. And even again, I have to bring up Martin too, because he was a part of the original lineup too. We're never going to be the same. In a way, we lost, again, two integral parts of the band. And at this time, I think James, I don't think Pete passed away by the time this came out, but I might be wrong. Either way, again, we lost a big, part of the band. And at the end of the day, I'm never going to get those, I'll only have the memories. I'm never going to be able to hang out with you again. All this kind of stuff comes to mind. Those were the happiest days of my life. And again, heart-wrenching, good Lord. Like a break in the battle was your part, and the wretched life of a lonely heart. Again, she's just kind of, putting James on a pedestal here, I would say, and just saying how great of a guy he was in a way. Then we go into the chorus, now we're back on the train, oh, back on the chain gang. And again, it's at the end of the day, it's like, don't get it twisted. We're back on this train. We're back on the chain gang here. We're back to fuck shit up and, and just move on. Not like move on, in a way of like, well, we got to forget about them. But, it's just like, we got to get past this stuff. And, remember the lives of James. Remember the life of Peter as well. And, just kind of try to continue on, try to soldier on and keep being a band here, keep the rest of the band together and keep making music. So, obviously, again, I knew coming into this, once I heard it was about James, in tribute to him, it was going to obviously be a pretty big, important song for the band, and obviously it was. I mean, my God, even if this wasn't a hit, this was always going to be a very vital track for the band, a very important, transition, whatever. So, again, just great guitars from, there's, again, the rhythm guitar here. I guess Chrissy was on guitar too. Billy was also on guitar. Again, the great bass line here from Tony Butler, who I've really come to enjoy through his work with Big Country and now on a Pretenders track. So again, just great. Can't say it enough. And heartfelt as hell. So anyway, I guess that's all I got to say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all this stuff. Really appreciate all the support. And I will talk to you guys again soon.